must have seen a very, like, at one place, one of the input was optimizers, that is SGD, right? And there was also a comment on in the comment section saying it's the full form of this, that is stochastic gradient descent. So we'll be learning about optimizers. Now you have to know that there are many different kinds of optimizers, each one better than the other. But depending on the situation, or the data, you have to choose your optimizer carefully. So one thing is that Adam is, you can say, a favorite optimizer for anyone, and it'll probably be yours once you start coding too. So many people like to use this, but let's try to get on about a few different types of optimizers. So I haven't covered all of them. I won't be covering all of them in optimizers, but just the basic ones and Adams. So stochastic gradient descent. So in the normal gradient descent, what it does is it takes all the data point values and takes an average of it. So imagine taking all the data values, taking an average of it, and then updating the W values. So that is going to take a lot of time. Imagine having a big data set. That is going to take a lot of time. So what they did was they wanted to solve this problem for larger data sets. So they got SGD. So this is to overcome the cons of a normal gradient descent. So what this does, it chooses the data set at random, data points at random, one input at a time. It takes an input, then depending on how the input is, it changes the W value, right? And then etc. So selects a point, computes the gradient. So by computing the gradient, the meaning is finding the loss, finding the error, DW, and then updating the W values before moving to the other point. So this is a huge process. This is definitely better than our normal gradient descent technique, but let's see how good it is, whether it's good at all. So in this, you can see that it's not really going in an order. So these just keep dancing or bouncing around, and the chances of them finding a minimum aren't very accurate because we're going at random, right? So it won't be really helpful. Like, you can find it at times, but not all the time. And this is our usual gradient descent. It finds out the average every time before updating the W values. So this one is so you have to find out a solution in which it's going to take the average. Like, it's not going to go at random, but at the same time, it shouldn't take every single point into consideration, right? So you should need to find something that takes the pros from both of it and removes the cons. So, and then the concept of mini batch gradient descent was introduced. So in mini batch gradient descent, the data points are taken into batches, like say a batch of 32 or 32 batches for the whole data set. And then the average of them are taken, and then you find out that's how you update the values of W. Okay, so you take a random batch of data sets, then you compute the gradient with the batch, and then you update the parameters. So mini batch gradient is basically taking the pros of both stochastic gradient descent and also a normal gradient descent that we had been studying from since morning. And now you can see the difference. This was going at random, but this is going a little better than the stochastic gradient descent. So now a question for all of you is, say there's a skate, someone is skating across the skating park, and he goes down the slope like this. So where is he going to end up? Is he going to end up at the top, or does he stop down? So for you who do not understand the question, I can rephrase it. So say there's a curve like this. Okay, this is the curve, and this is our basketball. You can take whatever you want. And it goes down. So is it going to stop here, or do you think it's going to go down? And if it does, probably if it oscillates or anything, why do you think it will do that? What is the physics concept behind it? Yes, okay, great. We have an answer. That is momentum. So now we'll be introducing you to momentum. Momentum in gradient descent. So why do we need momentum in gradient descent, right? So there's a problem that is known as saddle points. Okay, so these are saddle points, and these are local minima. So say you start with, so a gradient descent basically just checks if the slope is equal to 0. It does not check anything else. It just checks if the slope is equal to 0. And say we are starting our W from here, since we take the W at random at first, and we go down the slope, like however method we want, like gradient descent, or if it's stochastic gradient descent. And when we find that the slope is equal to 0, we stop here. We think that this is the least value, but actually this is supposed to be the one, right? Because we need to find the global minima. So we stop here. And so this is the saddle point problem. So we after a bit of like experimentation, they realized that it's stopping here. So what are they going to do? So they tried to use the concept of momentum here. So it takes the feedback from the previous one and it goes down the hill. So that's a huge amount of calculations, which we'll not be discussing here. But if you're interested, there are many YouTube videos or there are websites that you can check out about momentum in gradient descent. And using this momentum and acceleration in gradient descent, there have been many different optimizers, and which is like our favorite is Adams, right? Even that is based on this kind of like momentum and acceleration in gradient descent. So there's known as AdaGrad or Adams, etc. And I'm just going to say a line about this one. We won't be discussing today, or we won't be using this in our session. So you can obviously Google it when the session is over. So RMS prop is used when you have to normalize the balance step. So this is one kind of an optimizer. And you have AdaGrad, this is also another type of optimizer. And our favorite is Adams optimizer, which is the best optimizer. And why is it the best optimizer? Because the experimental results say so. Because it has the least loss and the experimental results say so. Now the full form of Adams is adaptive moment estimation. Okay, so I think it's clear till now. Is it? Yes, you will be getting the code of digital recognizer. I missed one. So Adams is basically, it's made up of gradient descent with momentum, that is AdaGrad, and RMC prop. So they take the best of this and the best of this, remove both the cons, and they make Adams. So that is why it's the best one so far, and it's our favorite. And now let's look at the different kinds of like how the gradient descent, like the lowest value is found, like how the global minima is found. So first we start with SGD. So you can see this is the saddle point, okay? So you can see that when it starts like this, it gets stuck in the saddle point. So SGD, it thinks that this is the global minima, but actually the global minima is down there. So that is because we do not have momentum in SGD yet. And when it's the normal momentum, this is the optimizer that took place when we first introduced momentum into optimizers. You can see that it does go down, right? It goes down, the green one, you can see, but it takes a lot of time. So, and then there were others like NAG and AdaGrad, AdaDelta, and RMC prop. So you can see that the others do go down. So now when we take the AdaGrad and RMC prop, that is when we get our Adams result. So I think it's clear till now about the overfitting, underfitting data, etc. So let's have a quick look at the